I hate it. I hate everything about it. Well, okay, maybe not everything, but I don't like it. Jurassic Park 2: The Chaos Continues was developed once again by Ocean and released in 1994 for the Super Nintendo. Interestingly, this actually came out a year prior to the release of Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park novel sequel, The Lost World, and 3 years prior to the film. Although elements from the novel did make it into the game, it's not technically considered to be canon and is more of a what-if scenario. So the story here is that there's an evil company called Biosyn that's trying to basically take over Isla Nublar, the island where Jurassic Park's located, so they can just make it their own. The game starts off with this cutscene that actually has digitized voices.
Prepare for drop! Go! Go! Go!
Huh. You really didn't see that on Super Nintendo, so that's cool. So with Biosyn threatening Jurassic Park, John Hammond tasks Alan Grant with returning to the island to stop them. So Alan loads up with a bunch of weapons and heads out. Where the first SNES game was a top-down shooter similar to Zombies Ate by Neighbors and focused more on exploration, finding keycards, and messing around with computer terminals, Jurassic Park 2 is totally not that. Instead, it's basically Jurassic Park Contra, with side-scrolling shoot-'em-up action where you play as Alan going around mowing down dinosaurs and people? Jeez. These guys probably just work for Biosyn, but, have families or something. So there are missions that you can choose from, and you have the option to pick right at the start of the game. The goal is to complete all of the missions, but you can go through them in any order. The missions all vary from protecting the Gallimimus to destroying raptor nests to repairing a radio antenna on top of a mountain, but the gameplay is basically the same throughout. Just get to the end of the stage and try not to die. There's these emergency missions that pop up too after you complete a regular mission. When these come up, you have to play through them, and these can be the most frustrating because they always seem to be timed missions. You might have to restart the power generator or rescue a scientist that Biosyn tried to kidnap. Not only are these missions timed, but most of the levels are non-linear as well, and everything looks the same, so it's really easy to get lost and waste a bunch of time. They usually give you just barely enough time, so if you take too long and the timer runs out, it's game over. On top of all that, this game is just freaking hard. I'm all for a good challenge, but there's fun challenge and then there's this. The game just throws as many enemies at you as possible, and it seems like they're always in position to do damage no matter how hard you try. You do get a life bar, but if you get overwhelmed by raptors or get too close to these flamethrower guys, it won't matter. Seriously, I hate these flamethrower guys. Why do so many Biosyn employees have flamethrowers? They spray flames in all directions, and your only hope is to keep your distance and duck. And check out this boss fight. This helicopter just swings a cage at you while also throwing bombs and heat-seeking bullets, and there's literally nowhere to hide on the screen. Holy crap, that's just mean. Alan does have a dodge move if you press the X button, but that's totally worthless. Alan just stands there and strikes a pose while raptors mash him in the face. Best thing to do is to keep moving as quickly as possible. Sometimes you can just run and jump over everybody. The AI is actually kind of dumb. The game also has a dinosaur stock system that you have to be aware of. There's this counter at the top of the screen, and every time you kill a dinosaur, it goes down. So you actually have two different types of weapons, lethal and non-lethal. Press the L button to cycle through lethal weapons, like machine guns or shotguns, and the R button to cycle through non-lethal weapons like tranq darts and a cattle prod. If you try to shoot the regular bad guys with non-lethals, nothing happens. They're invincible. But you'll want to shoot dinosaurs as much as you can with the non-lethals to keep the dinosaur count from dropping too low. Since, Hammond doesn't want you shooting all of his prized dinosaur assets. It's totally fine if you just want to go around mowing down Biosyn employees, but please, don't kill my dinosaurs. So you'll have to be flipping back and forth between lethals and non-lethals on the fly, especially in levels that feature both dinosaurs and human bad guys. It's an interesting concept, but that doesn't necessarily translate to fun. It won't matter because you'll probably be lost in the level anyway. Alright, so if it seems like I'm crapping pretty hard on this game, I am, but I will admit that it does have some neat things going for it. First of all, I do like the graphics a lot. The character animations all look really solid, and the detailed backgrounds, especially in the forests, look pretty neat, even if they are kind of repetitive. When you're inside buildings, the color palette is pretty drab and boring, but all of the outdoor stuff looks really cool. The digitized dinosaur sounds are all pretty good too, and so is the music. Even though there aren't a ton of tracks, like the first game, Ocean did a good job with the soundtrack here. There's also some just bonkers over-the-top set pieces. At one point you have to go underneath a volcano to find some raptor nests, and this just looks awesome. Then you're getting chased by a T-Rex while standing on the back of a Jeep. Did your buddy that was driving the Jeep just die then, or? So overall, if you're up for the challenge and just want some dino blasting silliness, feel free to give this one a shot, but just know what you're in for here. The non-linear level design is more tedious than fun, and the timed missions combined with the insane difficulty was legitimately grating on my soul. There's no save or password feature either, and the levels don't have checkpoints, so good luck with that. What did you think? Did you play this one when it came out? What is your favorite Jurassic Park game? As always, thank you for watching. Please don't text and drive, and I'll see you next time on Friday Night Arcade.